Welcome back everyone. You're watching the training week from November 11th, where the weekly focus was regaining some comfort in the Gaylords. Of course, the previous week I started getting very disorientated just in front giants. As you can see, I started doing a little bit of basic tumbling, which is still stinging the left ankle, but you got to start slowly. And the weekly highlight was catching my first Kolman post-surgery. And that was a biggie for me. That's probably the skill that I've been waiting on the longest to come back. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Misha and I've been keeping this video diary for around the last 4 or 5 years, so you can watch every single turn I've taken on the gymnastics equipment and see my build up towards all sorts of competitions, domestic, international, world championships, and even the Olympic Games in Tokyo. So on the Monday I hit up most of the apparatus, and I feel like I'm going to transition slowly to doing that at least once or twice a week, where I just kind of go around all 6, and I think I did 5 or 6, yeah, I might be wrong, but go around all of them and do a little bit of basics and whatever skills I feel like I can do on the day. But the main focus was seeing if I could regain that comfort in the front giants. It's like every time I went over the top on the way back down, like right there, that part there, I'd lose sense of where I am. So I played it safe. We got a mat slide, and actually on this day, Josh and I, we did some experimenting between the Spieth bar and the Gymnova bar over here. And it was extremely different. I wasn't feeling the greatest, but I think to do a true experiment, you'd need to do a few reps on each of the bar. One on each is kind of confusing because you're not really sure what to do on your first time using the bar that you're not used to, that you haven't been acclimatized to, and everything felt very, very different. So I kind of went back straight to the Spieth bar. I didn't want to do any more Gymnova bar after that. Something for the future. You know, if you can do like 2 to 3 turns per bar, you'll get to, I think you get to know like how to treat the other bar differently. Now, on another note, the stoop halves started coming back kind of to what they were before Singapore, and I felt like I started getting a bit more of an understanding about what to do to, you know, to make it happen. So I think in the next few weeks I'm kind of gonna, I feel like I'm gonna get it. I feel like I'm gonna start figuring out how to go to handstand without splitting my legs, without going to the side, and then might have to try that stoop full. First few front tucks after breaking the ankles, and front rotation doesn't feel too bad. Back rotation, even on the tumble track, still quite intense, so I'm gonna have to go real slow, but front rotation I might start doing a little bit more as the weeks go by. So I've just started, I've just got back from the Building for Tomorrow clinic in Sydney. I had a great time, but I think I'll talk more about that in the next training week. This was like a whole week before I left. And I only trained 3 days. I remember I was planning to do some triple backs on the Thursday, but shoulder started hurting quite a bit, so I just played it safe and left it alone. Finally, I'm remembering to do my Honma facing the other way, because now we have to do half turns, fam. We got to do half turns after every single swing to handstand, if there's no Healy or something continuing in the same direction. So working on increasing the Healy from 1 bar repetitions, trying to, you know, make it kind of autopilot so that I can catch consistently, and you'll also start to see me doing repetitions without the mat. So what I'm going to start doing there is I'm going to start doing the Healy from 1 bar without the pitch to 1 bar, just so I can swing out of it more and start hopping. When I feel that the hop is good, then of course I'm going to add the hop quarter and work my way up to doing a Gatson connected to the Healy from 1 bar. It's not necessary, you can always do the Gatson from a front of prize, but my front uprises aren't the greatest. Your hips have to be at horizontal, so pretty much your hips have to be at the same height as your shoulders. That's going to be a big struggle for me, and there's like a whole extra skill that you have to do that's not even going to count towards your difficulty. To be honest, like probably out of all skills on P-bar, front uprise I would have to put in the most amount of effort. And you don't need a particularly high front uprise to do a Gatson. You know, it's more for like dismounts and front straddle flips that you need to put in some juice. But the thing is, if you do a low one, they are going to take, you know, like an amplitude deduction. So we must be sitting at Tuesday here. And Tuesday was the first Kolman. So I did a timer, saw the bar, and I knew I was going to try to catch this one. So this was the first one post-surgery. Messy on the legs, catch was a little bit dodgy. It's almost like I didn't reach my hands over the bar quite enough. But got it done, and I was buzzing after that for a couple days. Super exciting times. And that brings back pretty much all the main skills. So what I haven't done now is, so I haven't done the catch-evs, and I'm sure I'll try them eventually, but they're really not that necessary now that we're down to 8 skills. I haven't done double out full, but again, not too necessary because I'll be working on the triple back, which is going to be a lot less, you know, pressure on the shoulder. And Zoli Min. Zoli Min for a C is okay, but you can always just do a one-arm giant for a B. So Zoli Min's not the end of the world either. It is going to be on my surgery shoulder if I ever do bring it back, so I'm going to have to be pretty careful there. Still on the strength pump, so there I'm doing those rolls with 1 kg on each ankle. Pretty much just working with a green bungee now. Still struggling to get the false grip, so it's still going to take more work for me to keep that false grip. You might notice that right there, that little roll. So if I'm rolling my wrist down like that, that means I am losing the false grip on the way into the Zarian. So as we saw a few weeks ago on World Clips of the Week, which I need to bring back, but yeah, just been extremely busy lately. We saw Carlos Yulo not budging a millimeter on his way over in the Azarian. A little bit of breakdance in there for you on the flares, and picking up some numbers on the flares and the one handle circles. So pretty soon probably going to start cranking those Magyar Cevados again and working towards my base routine. The Zone, you know, like I said, let's give that one about 5 good years or so before we get it. Gonna have to work on some of that wrist flex. Now, was this the day where I did, there was one, I think it was this week, there was one pagan I didn't catch, but it was the first time in a long time that I got my second hand, like very close to the bar. Actually, I think it was next week because we're pretty much finished here. But as you can see, the stoop halves, the legs are closer together, and we're even backdooring some, despite that being a bad one. So, short week. Thanks for watching, all the best till next time, and I'll try to whip out another one this week.